All right, I got to use this. All right. Thank you for being here. Welcome. And welcome, Stout Street staff, residents, family and friends watching from home, and most importantly, the GED graduates. My name is Dr. Angela Vizzi. I am the Stout Street Foundation Director of Vocational Training and the instructor for the GED participants. Through our partnership with Community Education Outreach, Stout Street Foundation has been able to provide educational-based services that allow residents who do not possess a high school diploma an opportunity to attain a high school equivalency diploma. For those of you watching from home who may not know about Stout Street Foundation is a 2-year therapeutic community for individuals who suffer from substance abuse issues and who seek recovery. Stout Street Foundation has established a highly structured environment that furnishes all the physical needs, medical needs, educational, and occupational therapy needs for resocialization of program participants. This is a unique time for our country and Stout Street Foundation. One thing that is not unique is the importance of education and sustainable, equitable employment. As my roles at Stout Street Foundation seem to greatly align with both education and employability, I take great pride and appreciation in having the opportunity to assist residents at Stout Street Foundation reach both goals. As a director of vocational training, I am tasked with building relationships with local businesses in an effort to develop vocational-based partnerships. Individuals who possess a high school diploma or equivalency will make approximately $10,000 more a year than if they did not have a high school diploma. Not possessing a high school diploma or equivalency also may impact the types of jobs an individual is eligible to be hired for, in addition to opportunities for more vocational training and higher education. Again, welcome and thank you for joining us to celebrate and honor our recent GED graduates tonight. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker tonight, David S. David S. is not only a 2019 Stout Street Foundation graduate, but also graduated with his GED while he was in the program. David and I initially had a like-hate relationship where he liked me, but hated to come to class to get his GED, which was something he stated he never needed before to get a job. Dare I say I wanted it more for him than he wanted it for himself at that time. Today, David is the Stout Street Foundation's logistics director. He has taken classes to become an addiction counselor, all of which would not have been possible without his high school equivalency. It is my honor to introduce to you David S.
Good evening, everyone. What a night. I tell you, we celebrate a lot of milestones here in recovery and at Stout Street, but this is a good one. This comes close to my heart because I did go through the program, and as Angela said, I fought it tooth and nail. My excuses were, I've made plenty of money in my life. I don't need it at my age. I struggled with the math part. And with Angela's help, I got through it and I passed. It's proof in the pudding right here, what you can do, because none of this where I am today would have been anywhere near possible if I hadn't graduated GED. So today we look at these 8 residents over here. They've went through the diligent program of getting their GED. Now let's reflect a minute on the GED. You know, we go to high school, you get a C average, you get your diploma, right? You're done. GED is a lot more than that. The studies that you have to do are a lot more involved. There's no skipping class, or at least not here at Stout Street. Um, and the involvement in it, in the learning education, is a lot more than just going to a building for 4 years and getting your diploma. So, not to discredit anyone's diplomas through high school, but these guys really did work hard for where they are today. And that's why we are so proud of them. And this is their day. Now let's talk a little bit about the future. Okay, the future is bright for all of you, including these guys. You know, for all of us that graduate this program, the sun shines so much brighter in recovery than it ever did in addiction. I'm living proof of that. You know, I've been 4 years sober, and that's because of Stout Street. The work that we put in here gets you to a better place in life. And with these people, they've joined a great crowd across America that A, has passed their GED, and B, now they can go on and seek further education. Whether it be at a community college, a university, whatever, the sky is the limit for them now. And so they have the whole lives ahead of them to take any field that they may have thought of as a kid. You know, as a kid, we always say, they always ask you, what would you like to be when you grow up, right? Okay. Well, now, because we're out of addiction and into recovery, and these people have their GED, that is fully possible. And it is for all of you guys, too. And so don't just take this moment to say, yay. Take this moment to sit and reflect on your future once you leave here at Stout Street, because it's very bright, and you are the ones that hold the future to the recovery fields, to the recovery sobriety fields, the communities, and things like that. The tools that you learn here at Stout Street, and I can guarantee you this because I use them all the time, you use in everyday life. Problem solving, coping skills, so on and so on, schemas. And when you learn to apply those tools that Stout Street gives you in your toolbox when you leave, it's that invisible toolbox that we take with us, you open it up when you're in a situation. And you say, okay, I can use my DBT skills here. I know what this schema is about. Even games, you know how to tell what state people are in. You know what ego state. And you know not to escalate. You know, let's not argue about this. Let's sit back for a minute and move forward. So with this, I just want to say congratulations once again, guys. We as a foundation, we as staff, and all the residents are so very much proud of you. At this time, I'd like to turn it back over to Dr. Angela Vizzi, and we'll present the certificates.
As we call your name, we'd like to have you stand for a picture, and then you can say a few words into the camera and to your peers. Okay. The first one is Arnold A.
Jared, where are you?
Doing something, I got it. Don't worry. 1, 2. Got it.
Oh, I'm super nervous up here. I'm not really used to all this. But first off, I want to just thank Angela V for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. You know, I want to thank Stout Street, my counselors and stuff for as well believing in me and, you know, helping me out when I was struggling. I'm super nervous. I just want to say I love this place, you know, with all my heart. I love all you guys. Thank you for letting me share.
come back up real quick? Okay. The next individual or graduate is Kevin A.
Yeah, I don't know how to use this. I use a phone.
One, two.
Hello. Some of you don't know me. Good evening, family. Kevin A. You know, I completed the residential part of the program just about 6 months ago. I didn't find out that I went through my adult life thinking that I had my high school diploma, not knowing the place I got it from was a scam. I didn't find out I needed to get my GED until I was about 14 months into the program. So I didn't have the pleasure of going through the class with Angela, but I did have the pleasure of working under her for about a year. Best boss ever. But yeah, you know, I winged it. I got lucky. And here I am. I'm very appreciative of Stout Street for bringing it to my attention that I needed to get it and helping me get there. Yeah, thank you all for being here. That's all I have to say.
The next graduate is Alexander W.
Good evening, family. Alexander W. This is pretty cool. Never really thought that I was going to ever accomplish this. I had a similar scenario with Kevin. I got a fake diploma that I paid money for. That was a hoax. I'm just really grateful to be here and make this accomplishment. Super grateful for Stout Street for giving me the platform to do so. There's not a lot that I can say about how much gratitude I have for this place. Thanks for letting me share.
The next graduate is Philip K.
Good evening, family. Philip K. So, I mean, I never thought I would ever get my GED. I didn't think it was necessary. And then just getting sober, you kind of get a different array of life and realize that you can't do stuff the same way that you've been doing it. So I want to thank Stout Street for the opportunity that they gave me. I didn't have a choice, but I mean, it was well needed, you know. Like earlier in my program, I was like, this is stupid, whatever. And then as you get older in the program, you realize that, you know, I should probably succeed and do something with my life, and that's what I'm going to do. This ain't the only cap and gown I'm going to wear, so thanks for letting me share.
The next graduate is Nicholas P.A.
Good evening, family. Nicholas PA. I don't really know what to say. Growing up, I never really paid attention in school or took things seriously. And where I come from, it was a really bad neighborhood. So I don't know, really, I'm just super grateful Stout Street gave me this opportunity. Thank you, Angela, for putting up with me every day. And yeah, thank you for letting me share.
The next graduate is Darren G.
Good evening, family. Darren G. So I just want to say that I'm grateful for everyone in here and Stout Street for forcing me to do this, because if I wasn't forced to do it, I would have never done it. And I mean, it's probably the best thing. It's definitely the biggest accomplishment I've ever made in my life. And it's hard for me to give it the level of greatness that it is, because I just think all my life I've seen myself getting my high school diploma and as someone that would graduate with top of the class, and then I just decided halfway through high school that I wasn't going to go anymore, and that it was dumb, and then after I got it, after I got my GED, it's great, I really feel like I accomplished something, and I'm very proud of myself and everyone here. Thanks for letting me share.
The next graduate is Santana T.
Good evening, family. Santana T. I'm terrible at speeches. I've never done a speech in my life. But honestly, I'm grateful. I didn't want to leave this place until I had my GED. I didn't know anything it consisted of. I just knew that I wanted it, and now that I have it, I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Our last graduate tonight is Scott F.
All right, I too am not. Oh, good evening, family. Scott F. Yeah, I was gonna say I too am not very great at these things. Seeing all of you stare back just made it a lot worse. I should have just. So, Stout Street offers so much and has offered me so much and has gave me so much, and the GED is huge because I wouldn't have done it on my own. I know I wouldn't have. And this is just one more accomplishment on this road that I'm traveling right now, and it's a great feeling. I'm extremely grateful for everything, and thanks for letting me share.
The House, staff, your GED graduates. For those of you who are still attending, trying to attain this diploma equivalency, stick with it. It'll be hard. You won't want to do it. You won't see a relevance. But trust me, it'll be worth it in the long term. with both your sobriety and your employability. In closing, I would like to introduce someone you already are very familiar with, Christopher Conway. He is the president and CEO of Stout Street Foundation.
What was that? What was that about? Is this on? Can you hear me? Is this on? Welcome. I'm honored. I am truly honored to participate in GED. I've been here over 20 years and I've never seen this event. Every year you go out to Red Rocks or there's a neutral site or everybody from the state graduates. So maybe there's one blessing in the pandemic this year is that we got to celebrate GED graduation with our peers tonight. So I think that's pretty cool. I wrote some notes. Yeah, well, this was supposed to go on until 7:30, so I think I have 37 minutes now. Angela came to me and said, "You only got 3 minutes on stage," and I was like, "Okay." As soon as I felt this room, the spirit, the energy, it is always so incredible to be a part of this foundation. Everybody together at once, and today we have this common goal of celebrating an accomplishment. I think it's important that we all look at the accomplishment that they made getting through their GED while dealing with Stout Street, while dealing with treatment, while dealing with therapy, and on top of it being required to do homework and go to school when everybody else has free time. Thursday night and Sunday night is the only time that we get free time. And GED students are required to give up all their free time to learn and get your equivalency and to succeed to a level that's beyond everybody else in here. I mean, half these people probably don't even have their high school diploma, but we'll save that for a different speech. I really want to take a minute and thank David S. for sharing his thoughts and his experience and his exposure to GED. So let's hear it for David S. I want to thank all the Stout Street graduates, man. You're going to have to fling your hats up soon. And I don't know what that looks like, but we're going to have to fulfill the tradition of moving the tassel to the side to show that now you're graduates. Is that how it works? So let's give it up for our GED graduates. And I want to take a moment and talk about the GED teacher. This lady is, she came to Stout Street through GED. We finally hired it. We outsourced GED, and they sent us Angela. And all of a sudden, one day, Angela was at staffing, like throwing her opinion around like she was the newest clinical director. And I'm like, who's this lady? And I find out she's the GED instructor. And as I get to know her, Bradley's like, we should look at hiring her for industries and taking over this whole piece for us. And I'm like, she's a GED instructor. How does that qualify her? But as you get to know Angela, as you get to know her heart and how much she cares about everybody. If any of you have a problem at a job in industries, Angela looks into it. If anybody has some emotional imbalance, Angela looks into it. Angela knows everything about everybody in this foundation. So when it comes to her, GED people and her pride and joy. She just is a phenomenal person to have on Stout Street and her staff. And I just want us all to really thank Dr. Angela Vesey for participating in industries as well as teaching our GED. So thank you. You know, it's like we were talking about today how we had to look this year on our small accomplishments. You know, finding the value. Everything from where I sit is always doom and gloom, and the pandemic is our biggest concern, keeping everybody not to get sick and worrying about what that looks like if it happens. And I think tonight affords us the opportunity to really be proud of an accomplishment. I think it's, you know, we work really hard regardless of a pandemic. Regardless of COVID, Stout Street Foundation, every level of it works so hard just to achieve, sometimes just to get through a day, just to get to your pillow. You work so hard at trying to figure out what makes you work. GED, you guys work so hard at getting where you are today. And we have to celebrate this accomplishment today. It's so important for us to understand how it is to live in today's world and the challenges that we're all facing. And tonight's just a beautiful event. So thank you all, guys. In closing, in my 3 minutes, you know, addiction for us is scarier than COVID-19. There's not one of us who would be out in the street right now in our active addiction that would give a crap that there's a pandemic in this country or in our street or in our corner. And we understand that, and you understand that. That addiction was the hardest battle that we had to face and that we have to face. And we deal with it every day. We deal with it in sobriety. Having GED is just another layer for you to be able to battle and get that toolkit that David's talking about out. Being able to face pandemics and us coming together just as one and doing something that's right for each other. I am so honored to be a part of this tonight. It is so cool. All day I was kind of pissy. I try to leave by 1:30, 2 o'clock because there's a pandemic. So, you know. But today I had to stay till 7 and participate. And I am so honored just to be asked to close this by Angela, to be a part of David's dream, to be a part of every single one of you. Kevin, it's so good to see you. I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and I need you to be proud of yourself. So thank you for letting me share, and thank you for letting me do my part. So good night to the families. We appreciate you all participating, and I hope you're as proud as them as we are. I'm looking at the computer. It's all good. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. I always enjoy your words and your words of wisdom to this foundation that guide us through everything. Guys, at this time, there is a large cake in the cool down that says congratulations, ye graduates, and there's soda available in. Excuse me, retract. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Janella M. to address the House. She don't need to. She don't need